Being unified with people who are similar to oneself is a part of life that is very important to many people. The ability to connect with people through struggles, support, and understanding is a precious part of human life. This can allow people to truly understand who they are and to accept oneself. The literary criticism Symposia in the Drama of Trey Anthony and Louise de Lisle by George Eliot Clark explores the idea that Anthony's symposium unites contemporary Black women, teaching them to better understand each other's struggles and to support each other. This thesis is valid because one can see the unification of Black women within their symposium through the play The Kink in My Hair and its hairdressing salon symposium, where the women discuss their race, gender, sexuality, beauty, and power issues. This can also be seen through the play How Black Mothers Say I Love You, where their kitchen becomes a setting at which issues such as sexuality, infidelity, immigration, religion, commitment issues, adoption, death, self-image, and parenting are discussed. So now, what is a symposium? According to our literary criticism, it is to refer to a drinking party with conversation or to the holding of philosophical or friendly discussion or a set of contributions on one subject from various authors and points of view at a meeting or in a magazine. So basically, any meeting or social gathering at which ideas are freely exchanged. In the play The Kink in My Hair by Trey Anthony, the audience is presented with the setting of a hairdressing salon. This is where the women of the play often meet and partake in a symposium. They meet and freely exchange their ideas, points of view, and where they can engage in friendly discussion. In this location, the Black women are able to unite through teaching, which helps them to better understand each other's struggles and support each other. The literary criticism states that Anthony's choice of setting, a Caribbean-Canadian hairdressing salon, carries enormous resonance for Black women. This place is where the women are able to be deep and fully themselves. They are able to have revelations of their individual identities and experiences. Hair is used as a metaphor for their history and current mind and spirit, which unites them. The hairdresser can be seen as a therapist, as only these women can understand one another. The Kink in My Hair requires that we let the women's stories wash over us, detangling the knots of denial and confusion, locking the multiple curls and twists of our identities in the acts of self-acceptance. If you want to know a Black woman, touch her hair. Here in the salon, there are African women touching hands to hair and talking about hair, which ultimately reveals feelings about race, gender, sexuality, beauty, and power. The salon is a power center for the Black women and a space where the women have freedom of voice. The salon brings together African women of Caribbean origins in a setting that allows for consciousness rising and healing transformation. The salon we have just witnessed, one wherein 14 women have testified about experiences of suicidal alienation, loss of a child to police violence, incestuous rape, poverty and labor, senior citizen sexuality, traitorous Black men, the angst of lesbian identity, and the problem of the hussy, is also a psychological clinic and a magical spiritual temple. The idea of the kink in one's hair is meant to demonstrate Black women's joys and woes as their therapist or hairdresser takes the kink out and helps them resolve their problems. The political tension between Blackness and womanhood is resolved in the play's conclusion in the same way one's kink in their hair would be taken out before leaving the salon. When the Black women are gathered together at the salon, they share the pride, self-identity, comfort, love, and joy of being a Black woman. The symposium of the hair salon in the play unites contemporary Black women, teaching them to better understand each other's struggles and to support each other, as this is the place where Black women come together to really know each other through their hair. At the end of the play, there is an acceptance of oneself as a Black woman. This is thanks to everything that was shared and felt at the symposium. In the play How Black Mothers Say I Love You by Trey Anthony, the audience is presented with the setting of the kitchen. This is where the three women of the play often partake in symposia. They gather here and freely exchange their ideas, points of view, and where they engage in friendly discussion, even if it is argumental. In this location, the Black women are able to unite through teaching, which helps them to better understand each other's struggles and support one another. This play as a whole, and the symposia that the women partake in, is all rooted in the history of their lives. All three of the women, although they are related and have similar experiences, have all perceived what they have gone through differently. This has left many tensions between the three women and has left some holes within the relationship. This can be seen through the following quotes. You gave us away. You left us in Jamaica with Grandma for nearly 6 years while you were here, cries Claudette. Claudette, I left you with Mama while I was up here trying to sort things out, explains Daphne. Claudette feels that Daphne just abandoned them in Jamaica and came to Canada to start a better life without them and with the father of Chloe instead. But Daphne feels as if she did what was best for the girls and what would better their lives. There is tension between the mother and daughter as neither of them were ever able to get closure and discuss how this event made them feel. They were never fully able to understand or support each other. But now the characters are presented with the Kitchen Symposium, where they are forced to engage in meaningful conversation, which ultimately leads to the reunification of the three ladies. Anthony's play is a reconstruction of and reflection on the history of their lives. Claudette and Daphne engage in countless arguments about Claudette's sexuality and how Daphne has a hard time accepting it, about religion and attending church, about how Daphne left the girls in Jamaica and Claudette has a hard time forgiving and understanding the choices that Daphne made, about adoption and the idea of a nuclear family. Claudette and Daphne couldn't agree on many things and often argued and refused to see the other's point of view. Claudette tried to leave to Montreal in hopes to run away from her issues with her mother, but in the end of the play, they were able to resolve their issues and be content with the choices each other has made in their life. Claudette, I want you to know that, I do. I was thinking that when she comes out of the hospital, that you and the baby could stay here, says Daphne. You want me to stay here? Asks Claudette. You're my child. I will never leave you. Not even death will part me from you, Daphne says. Claudette has spent most of her life away from her mother, upset and holding a grudge over the fact that she abandoned the girls in Jamaica. Now, when she has returned home, she is forced to present these issues to her mother and talk them through in the Kitchen Symposium. The women argue constantly and have a hard time seeing eye to eye. But in the end of the play, after both women were able to discuss their differences, they are able to understand each other. Anthony's play insists that our characters may enjoy no happy or balanced life unless and until they address their lifelong rooted issues, which only could happen thanks to the Kitchen Symposium, where the women are forced to discuss their issues. Anthony's Symposium of the Kitchen in the play How Black Mothers Say I Love You unites contemporary Black women, teaching them to better understand each other's struggles and to support one another. During the play, the kitchen became the setting at which issues such as sexuality, infidelity, immigration, religion, self-image, and parenting are discussed, and although the women struggle to agree, in the end they are able to understand one another. In conclusion, Trey Anthony's Symposia within her two plays are able to unite contemporary Black women, teaching them to better understand each other's struggles and to support each other. This can be seen through the play How Black Mothers Say I Love You, where their kitchen becomes the setting at which serious issues are discussed, and where in the end the characters are presented with unification and understanding, and all issues have been resolved. One can also see how Anthony's Symposium has united contemporary Black women, teaching them to better understand each other's struggles and to support one another through the play To Kink in My Hair, through the Hairdressing Salon Symposium, where the women discuss serious issues and are able to have a sense of self-acceptance in the end of the play, thanks to all the great issues that were discussed at the salon.